Today on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Remember that big, massive backup on 95 last week? The supply chain from that delivery day has hit the produce section of our store. And apparently, as I look online, every store, because I looked in, there was no celery, there was one bag of carrots, and there were five single bananas.
If you want to know what really does get Rob angry, we give him a lot of crap. He doesn't get angry. This would be Angry Rob in the grocery store.
Organic bananas that all looked like turds. They were the worst.
O'Mara's can't shove whatever the substance is into their cake holes fast enough. And O'Mara's also want to go, me, talk, me, talk. And so the marriage of getting something ingested and talking resulted in my father didn't have a goddamn tie in his closet that didn't have spidge on it.
You're talking to a guy who needed to order a bigger suit. So I'm there. I get it.
So
it was hard getting the tie over his face.
I know. It's huge. Tell you,
it's
clip-on.
It's time. But I will tell you,
El Clipo.
All that and more. The Mike O'Mara Show starts now. Mike O'Mara Radio Entertainment. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Let's get started.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show with Mike O'Mara, Oscar Santana, and Robb Spiewak. Now, here's Mike.
Welcome to the Mike O'Mara Show. We are enjoying our second decade of the show that has become a daily routine for thousands of listeners in great places like Fort Knox, Kentucky, Carmel, California, Whippany, New Jersey. Do you know where that is in New Jersey? You know Jersey a little bit better than most of us. I've never heard of it.
Know. I'll find out what county it's
Wildwood?
in. Could be near Wildwood, yes.
Bucharest, Romania, Wausau, Wisconsin, and Manama, Bahrain. The Mike O'Mara Show is on now. Happy Monday, everybody! We had an oversleep like you have never seen.
Yeah.
We are starting 50 minutes late. Roughly, due to did you have? Were you nocturnal last night, Oscar? Is that why you didn't?
I was nocturnal, but
hear
this is what's strange, and I hate to even say this. My wife is in Olney, Maryland, and
it's finally over.
You know,
at your mom's house?
Yeah, because
she's
my
staying with the
mom
Orville.
is a spoiled glowworm, and she's getting her kitchen redone, and we needed somebody there that understood the parameters of the job, which my wife does, to meet them. And I certainly can't meet them because I'm a captain of industry, because I have to get to work on time, Mike. And that's Olney, Maryland, and we live in D.C. So she slept over my mother's yesterday.
Does she normally assist you in hearing the rallying for work?
If you told me I needed my wife prior to this morning, I would have said, no way. I wake up.
But now you know you do.
This is shocking to me. Shocking.
Shock.
So I just don't know physically if I could sleep not past 9, past 8 in the morning. I don't think not past set. I don't think I could do it. I'd love to be able to do it, but I don't think
on a work
physically
day,
being,
Look,
I could
get
do
older,
it. Can you turn his microphone down a little bit to me?
I feel like I'm muffled, actually, but it's fine. As you get older, I know you wake up earlier. I have been. No problem.
Turn him down all the way. Let's try it again.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Do you have the right microphone?
That's fine. That's good. That's good right there. All right.
So I and the only outlier is because I don't want to give my wife too much credit, or the dog, because the dog is not with me.
Does she rally and get the house going in the morning?
No, it is me. I usually wake up at 6:30, no problem, and I'm bebopping around.
So you're my wife is the driver of the whole morning. She gets me up.
Mine too.
I take everything back about my wife. It's Santos. Santos does that shake. I need to go outside. The ears and everything. Yeah. Uh-huh. He does that.
Believe it or not, as much as I'm an animal lover, one of the least favorite sounds in the world to me is the flapping of a dog's ear when they wake up.
I like that. I don't like the collar.
I hate
the
that
jingling
sound.
of the collar.
I hate the.
Yeah.
Mike,
I love it.
Whippany, New Jersey's in the northern part of the state, central. And you know who was born there? Linda Tripp. The lovely Linda Tripp comes from Whippany, New Jersey.
No.
That's information that was absolutely wonderful, and
Loose
thank you
lip-sync ships.
for that. That's good Monday information.
Let me clarify here.
Yes.
The dog does its shimmy, Santos, around 6 a.m.
You mean the shake?
Shimmy shake.
Yeah.
And my wife would be like, can you? And so I always get up and go because I don't mind. Like, I know he's got to go, and as a man, I know I can't hold it. So he's the secret to my success. And one more layer, those little Google Home, those little pieces of like it's a screen, a speaker. Those they're all over Best Buy, Mike.
Personal assistants.
Personal assistants.
Right.
Got one of those for Christmas. And for the first time in my life, I said, "Well, let me tell Google to set my alarm." And
last night,
yeah, and that rinky-dink alarm that comes out of that little speaker, let me tell you.
She slept right through.
It's no Apple Corporation, because when I woke up to old Rob being like, everything okay?
Where you at?
And I was like, dude,
where are you? Don't say where you at, please.
To say, this is what I want to say. Back up, bro. I'll see you in about 30, because maybe you're looking for something, right?
Right.
And I didn't know.
I was like, my God, I have slept in. This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Well, we're here, and
Thank
we
you
waited.
for waiting.
And,
I actually said start. Start the show,
the normal, I have to say this, that I am coming off a weekend where at my advanced age, you don't get a chance to go to weddings very often. You really don't. You don't get an opportunity. So we have planned this for a long time. Not really. I wouldn't call it a destination wedding because it was. We stayed overnight. We drove 2 hours, 2 hours and 20 minutes up the slab to outside of Tampa for my friend Carmen and her daughter Shauna getting married. Shauna, really wonderful, lovely, lovely girl. And Carmen has been our number one and only babysitter for my son since he was
essentially family,
16 months,
right?
16 months old. She refers to my son as her other grandchild, which that was kind of when that was years and years ago when she kind of locked it in with me.
Right.
And she was up there and really, 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 JT, Shauna's husband, just a wedding, and I forgot the joy. Because it's been so long, my contemporaries don't do it very often, unless they're on number 4 now. But I will say that this venue was outside of Tampa, Florida, and it was a natural outside wedding with just a little shelter that we were all under with all the tables. And the church was, the place where they got married was set up under this beautiful natural mangrove tree canopy, cypress tree, whatever it was.
English?
Just beautiful. I think Italian family and then Puerto Rican family. Right. So Carmen's Puerto Rican, and she had all her Latin relatives there, and it was the energy.
How much Daddy Yankee do they play?
What's Daddy Yankee?
Oh, it's La Gasolina.
There was a lot of that music, and we were all dancing. A lot of line dancing. A lot of line dancing.
Oh, the cha-cha dance?
Kids. Yeah, it was
the
just
cha-cha
really
slide? Very popular.
So much fun.
Cha-cha real slow.
So we get there, and I make a mistake because it is in a town called Lutz, Florida.
I gotta look that up.
And Lutz is north of Tampa. And I get they send out the information because it's a destination thing that they're going to be at the hotel. I said, I'll stay at a hotel close by. I don't want to be at the hotel where all the kids are rocking and rolling because we're bringing Michael and all that. So I don't want to be up in the wee hours of the morning.
Lutz? Lutz.
Lutz.
Yeah, I went to
like Biddle and Lutz.
I went to school with a kid named Nick Lutz, and we always called him Lick Nuts.
Oh no!
he didn't
I've got
care
another
for
LU. I've got
guy.
another 3-letter restaurant that's no longer in business with an LU. Do you know what it is?
Lums.
Oh, you remember Lums?
No, I don't know that.
Remember Lums?
There was one on campus.
I don't think I had
VCU.
one meal in Lums, but I remember Lums.
And there was one in Falls Church.
Lums.
It sounds horrible, doesn't
like
it?
a Denny's, right? Like kind of a Denny's.
Dinery, yeah, but it sounds
dinery.
horrible. Yeah.
It feels weird saying it. Your mouth
Lums.
feels. It's like it hurts your mouth.
Lums.
So we roll out for a 4:00 wedding We roll
Perfect time
at
for a wedding.
12.
What's
I want to
the
say we're
COVID
out of the
protocol first? Just get that
the
out of the way.
COVID protocol was it's outside. Masks were provided, but we didn't wear masks because it was outside. And with boosted, my wife boosted,
Yeah,
and I
you
boosted.
have zero comorbidities. You're good.
I think he's giving.
You know what?
He's giving me a hard time.
He doesn't have the
you see.
comorbidity of oversleeping. I know that.
That's
true.
the comorbidity. You woke him from the dead today. So we go
Like
in,
cough.
and it's such a beautiful place, just so pretty. And I said, when you get to a wedding place you've never been to before, and you go, wow, what a great choice.
Yeah.
The thing that was cool was the altar under this massive tree, natural overhang. They had the chairs set up. And I said this to Carmen, our babysitter and the mother of the bride, that I just felt a spiritualism with this particular wedding. There were that family, I won't go into detail, has gone through a lot of hard times with losing family members recently. And I felt a real spiritual. I felt my mom's presence there. It was just kind of
that's nice.
It was just a real sweet, emotional for some reason. I'm not connected to this family in any significant way, but I felt the joy. And two things. So I felt that all day. And I passed the line. But what I really felt when I went into the little area where they were getting married was I checked the room out. Even at 62, I look around the room to say, my number one priority, is this going to be a fun wedding or a non-fun?
Right.
And you immediately, as I check out everybody there, I see enough of a youth presence where this is going to go. This is going to be a fun one, and it's going to be the families seem to be getting along well. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it was. And the way they laid it out, you have the wedding and you have the reception, same place.
That's
so
awesome.
You just basically move from the little chapel area
like
over
Trade
to the
Winds
pavilion.
in College
what's
Park.
That? What?
Trade winds.
I've been there.
Have you ever been there?
It's
No.
It's an event facility.
Oh my God, Mike! If you want to have a trashy wedding, and I have, you go to what is an event, Shangri-La in trashy Beltsville.
This wasn't trashy though.
No, I'm saying.
Are you saying, Sleepy, that you're calling my
I'm
babysitter's kid's wedding trashy?
You're in a chapel in a park. You're fine. I'm saying that there is there's a high level of operations when you go from the chapel to the.
I know. Those are the indoor venues.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know where they used to be? They turned the Fair Oaks movie theater turned into one at Fair Oaks Mall.
Nothing of the kind.
Yeah, but you're outside in a park.
Nothing of the kind, because
Under a
this
mangrove
was.
tree.
But also you're not hearing my rustic description. This is super rustic.
I'm sorry.
This was this was a converted place. And you go from the little chapel area, and then there are some outbuildings, older outbuildings with maybe converted stables or barns or something like that. And they have the drinky drink right away. Like you go
That's
right from the
cool.
chapel to their service. And they did beer and wine on them as much as you want. All you want.
Whiskey.
And a cash bar so you could get have me a little marga right out of the gate.
How was it?
And they had that. I watched her make it. She put it a little tart for me, but it had enough of tequila. So we're sitting there, and the bride was beautiful, and Carmen's granddaughters are absolutely gorgeous, and they were in the wedding, and it was really, really fantastic. And this is really ultimately, though, the story of why I'm a disc jockey, why I'd never be in corporate America, why, putting on a suit, even when we do a live show, and that's really whenever we do them, or I go to a funeral,
Right.
which was the last time I wore the suit. You find out when you reach into your pocket. I didn't have it dry cleaned, and I reached into the suit. And
Find a prayer card.
Still fresh.
It was
Card, not so much.
Not a good one too. You remember it? I went up there, but anyhow. So I sat there, and but the suit is great. And it's a little big on me, which is fine.
That's
that
a
makes
nice
me
sign.
happy. And so
When does that happen?
I rarely. So
Nice surprise.
but it was. You don't have to be surprised. Okay.
No, look, you're talking to a guy who needed to order a bigger suit. So I'm there. I get it.
So
It was hard getting
And-
the tie over his face.
I know. It's huge. Tell you. Clip-on.
It's time.
El
But I will tell you,
El Clippo.
and this is a fat guy thing. This is a
Yes.
fat guy thing. I'm not a big stander.
I'm
You
with
know?
you.
I like to play golf, but golf is cart golf. You know what I mean? But my entire family on my sister's side, they could stand. And everyone in Maine, you go across every party I've ever been to, all standing all the time. Stand. I don't like it. I want to relax. I want to have. So I found myself a little place to sit. They had some tables where the bars were, but everybody was standing and milling around. Some people were sitting down, but I like to go to where the 90-year-old women are, where they parked it.
Did you find a glider, or what did you find?
No, I found it. They had a little couple of
rocking
tables
chair.
set up in the one area before you
Okay.
go in,
All right.
and then it's time to go into the venue, and they even have that together. As we're sitting there, a guy comes over and said, "You will have a name card, not a name card. You will have a name display with your name on it over right when you're walking into the venue. We'll tell you what table you're sitting at." And then they were so tastefully done, the table numbers with this little kind of rock cutout thing where you could hardly see the number. It was kind of hard to find. We finally find table 15. We're sitting with a very nice group of people that are sitting there. We don't know them, but it's small talk, but at least there was talk.
That's
Okay?
good. That's good.
There was chit chat and fine. Now at this particular point, what's that? What?
Were you the only two Diablo Blancos? 3?
No. We, as a matter of fact, we were at a gringo table.
Oh,
Yeah,
not.
I believe. Yeah.
Because they started at 1 and moved down to 15.
But by the way, I should point out, Shauna is the daughter of a mixed couple. So
got it.
You've got gringos all over the place.
Well, that's
and,
always- it's always-
and marrying an Italian guy. So,
Yeah, but it's also it's always fun for someone that understands a little more about this than most to see how, because I know my foreign parents are always going to be sitting at the foreign table.
Oscar was like pointing at his arm,
I know.
skin color.
It was subtle, wasn't it?
Buddy.
Yeah, but if there's a language barrier,
Right.
there's usually a language barrier table, and that's usually a quiet table because nobody's
No, it's
talking
because
to
I
each
think that there was a liberal amount of
Okay.
bilingualism
Got it,
at
got
this
it, got it,
particular.
got it.
And they
there were,
obviously-
these, and by the way, the way it's not like Oscar when he struggles with his native tongue.
Yeah.
It's these people flip.
You
a
have to
switch.
admit it's cute.
like a flip a switch.
It's
yeah.
cute when
Hey,
he speaks
at least I
Spanish.
have that.
Yeah.
I know.
What do you guys have?
I have French.
But that you do. I admire people
I'll
that
take
are
it.
able to switch.
I can get you out of a
languages.
jam in Tijuana.
Now, obviously,
Right.
they sat your boy with you. It was you and Carla and Michael. There
It was-
wasn't like
yeah.
a kid's table, right? Was that his
There wasn't
first?
a kids' table, but they didn't have a place for Michael, so we had to end up bringing that. But that was done in 5 seconds. It was
that
over,
his? Was that his first wedding that he'll be cognizant
First wedding, we will get to that in a second.
great,
and
great.
he is styling. He loves to wear the suit. He loves to wear the tie. He looked beautiful. We got a haircut that day.
Nice.
Right after his piano lesson, and it could not have been more fun for him. We'll get to him because he brought his mother and I great joy. So, getting back to it, I am not only a DJ, and DJs by their nature, it is I'll come out and say it.
Please.
It's a white trash job. Mm-hmm. It is. There's nothing other than when you do what we do, it is. It is. I think I figured that out after my many years on this planet. That's
It's
just
not,
the way it
it's
goes.
not. Let's be a little more respectful.
It's a white
No,
trash
it's not,
job.
It's not trash. It's not white trashy, and it's not trashy. It's hard to do. It is just not as hard.
It is hard to do.
It is just
and
not
to be
as hard.
successful
it's not,
at it is.
It's not as hard as we make it seem.
we make it seem harder. We make it seem harder all the time. But my point I'm getting to is the suit, dress up, comfort.
Yes.
I have a great fitting suit for my fat ass,
Great. What color?
but I still it's a black suit,
Beautiful.
and but I will tell you that a charcoal suit.
Okay.
I will tell you that ultimately, I'm never comfortable in a formal or business casual. I'm just not, especially since I moved to Florida. I'm basically wearing my go to camp clothing right now.
PJs.
And that's what I wear every day. Shorts and a golf shirt every day. Every single day. So when you put me in this thing, first of all, perfect weather down here. So there was not the schwitzing that you get at some of these functions, which is another pain in the ass. But I'm always just mindful of, not doing anything to stand out. Right. I want to be chill. I want to be dignified, and I want to be fun. So the choice of drink after we got into the venue was wine. Free beer and wine. We'll get the wine, fine. I'm bringing Carla a glass. I'm bringing myself a glass. And I sit down, and it was business casual was the recommendation. There were men with ties. There were men without ties. There were men without jackets. There were men. It was a variety, but I was in a jacket without a tie. My son was in a suit with a tie. I chose to wear right in the middle. I was fine. Didn't stand out. It was the way it should be. Nice, crisp, brand new white button-down shirt. Felt very together.
Did it have buttons?
For me. What's that?
Pony likes to wear shirts without buttons. I'm just curious what your preference is.
It was not a T-shirt.
It was not a tuxedo shirt.
Remember Pony had a tuxedo shirt without buttons?
Oh, without the studs in it.
Yeah.
Yes. No, this was
he showed up looking like Tom Jones.
This was a dress shirt. This was a white, crisp dress shirt.
Nothing better.
And I sit down, and I'm feeling comfortable, and my son's having a good time, and there's a sweetness in the air to this wedding that's really special. And I look over at my wife as I'm talking, and as I'm talking, I reach up to take a sip of my glass, looking at my wife, and of course, goblet, right down red wine, right down the front of my shirt in a headshot splatter. That's what it would be. It would basically be just like this. And I'm looking down, and there is no, remedy right away. And by the way, everybody's being introduced. So there's no getting up to get soda water or anything like that. And now please welcome for the first time. And now we're going to have the dance. And now and I'm like, all I'm thinking is, I need soda water, please, soda water. And I lean over to Carl and said, can you go around the back and get some? She goes, well, yeah, in a minute.
Meanwhile, everyone's looking at you saying, look who's going through stigmata.
It's so bad I'm talking about it. I make the lady to the right of me, the mom of one of the bridesmaids, laugh because I sit there and I take my jacket. Well, he said, maybe if I hold my jacket like this, and I go right up to my neck and I'm going, she's laughing. At least she's laughing at my shtick.
Yeah.
Carla finally goes back to get the soda water. And I said, and get a little lemon slice, put a little of the acidity, help get that stain out a little bit.
Smart.
So she comes back over and she gives me a napkin and a little plastic cup with soda water in it, and I begin to dab. And within 4 dabs, I realize that the napkin she has given me is a paper dark navy blue napkin.
And it's
It is literally bleeding onto your shirt.
It is.
It's making the stain set.
It looks like I've barfed on my shirt at this point. And I'm sitting there going, this is just the way. And I end up being the white trash DJ that I am. We have a white linen tablecloth. Oh. And I begin to, I look up at because it's the mother, it's her other daughter, it's another young girl, and her boyfriend. Mm-hmm. These are all late teen, early 20-somethings that are there with the mom.
Yes.
And I look up at them, and some of them laughed. I think maybe some of them were disturbed. I said, okay, kids, it's time for the wet T-shirt contest. And I take the corner of the linen tablecloth, because I am not going to walk around looking like I've been shot at this.
No,
and the navy blue has now blended to a round stain, peppered with the intense red in the middle of it. And it's just, it's
probably
absurd.
From a distance almost looked like you were wearing a tie.
Yeah, exactly. That's how bad it was. And I take it, and then the linen with the soda water and the lemon is getting it done to a passable extent.
Okay.
Good.
Then it's the question, it's Florida, and it's humid, so it's a question of waiting for the dry time.
Right.
But ultimately, this is like in the game of golf when we said, man, I should have made that set. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about what you look like. They care about what they look like.
It's an uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. It is, because the wedding party, Oscar,
was so put together. They just had these wonderful color palette. Everybody looked really good, and being around the young people and my son said, I was fine. I moved past it. I did crack the table up because, you're seeing my chest hairs coming through the shirt because it's soaked with soda water.
This is like a Larry David episode of Curb. Where,
It is.
Where you, this is, I don't.
It's me.
It's
I'm
you.
so sick of being a slob, fat fart.
But Mike,
I really am.
But Mike, even on your best days, you're not going to let this slide because you're mad at yourself. You're mad at your.
So mad at myself.
You're mad that
I'm
you can't
so
even
pissed.
have an effing drink, a sip of wine without.
I
making
can't even
a
have a
mess.
sip of wine without going.
Well, actually,
and have it splay out of my mouth.
That's not the worst part. The
Jesus
worst part
Christ,
is not
it's
thinking
so
ahead.
horrible.
It's not thinking ahead with the blue napkin. The blue napkin is the worst.
I am an O'Mara. Let me explain what an O'Mara. O'Maras can't shove whatever the substance is into their cake holes fast enough. And O'Maras also want to go, me, talk, me, talk. And so the marriage of getting something ingested and talking resulted in my father didn't have a goddamn tie in his closet that didn't have spidge on it because it was horrible. And I'm sitting there and I'm not careful enough. And there are people, by the way, that are so meticulous and so good at it. But me, I don't even have food. Okay. Let's just think, by the way, they'd served a little hors d'oeuvre before. They had little shrimp and they had little mini Cuban sandwiches, which were fantastic. I dodged the Cuban sandwich and I dodged it by basically, I'm leaning over like this going,
Yeah,
I lean
that's
so
a mustard
far.
bomb right there.
Well, I lean so far out over my shelf to make sure anything that falls, because I know something's going to fall from my mouth. I know it's going to be me like this going.
The shelf.
Oh, God. Anyway, so it worked out that it was passable. Yeah, the stain never went out.
No,
The shirt's gone.
it's over.
The shirt's ruined. Yeah. It's like the worst thing. Let's see. What's he going to spill on it? Oh, I've got it. Red wine. Lovely, lovely red wine right in the middle of his fat man teats. And I was embarrassed. But shortly thereafter, the joy of my little man at his first wedding, looking absolutely gorgeous in his suit with his brand new haircut, and he hit that dance floor.
Oh, the best.
Like nobody hit that dance floor. He's here today. He's got the school day off today. He might have his mother's sense of rhythm, but it doesn't matter.
Like Elaine.
Elaine Bennis from Seinfeld.
It's like Macarena, and he's going. So
Those organized dances are tricky. They're tricky.
Yeah, but adorable. Like he does the floss, where the hands go back and forth.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, the floss is fantastic.
I'd love to see him do that.
Michael, are you still in your underwear?
Oh, well, not.
Put a shirt on. I want to come on the show and do the floss. He gets up, he's chilling. He said, I said to him this morning, his mom went to work. I came out and I looked at him and I said, Michael, put a shirt on. I said, why? I'm like, hell of a point.
Good point.
Enjoy your morning. You got a day off from work today. It's like Florida Pop.
I put on a shirt. I'll just stain it.
He's got his little Mario Brothers underwear and and his shirt, and he's on his phone. Fine, rock and roll. Play your little video game. I'm cool. He delivered the 100 on the test last week, so I was like,
just for the job he
does. He does his part. I support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the report card. I like the A's on the report card. That was why push him? Why push him? Shut up! Why push you? Push you out of bed?
Yeah. Why? One time.
Are you coming, Michael?
Yes, first time I've ever been late.
I know. Well,
I need you to do an appearance on the show here. It was phenomenal. It was so.
How did
wonderful.
Carla look?
And
You haven't mentioned one iota about her.
She was very simply dressed and Carla could put on a burlap sack and look good,
like almost, because Carla's fetching.
Can I tell you something sweet?
Yes.
Carla does this thing where any formal thing we go to, she wears the necklace that my mother gave her before she died.
Oh,
and
that's
it's
nice.
so sweet and so kind. And Carla had a little of the a little different do. She normally has very straight hair, and she did the kind of lion's mane funky, and that's it. Michael,
Maybe he's
what
doing,
are you doing?
He's doing his hair.
What?
Maybe he's putting on an outfit.
Come on in here.
Can't get this Windsor right.
I'm getting some sort of answer that might be problematic. She looked very, very good. She looked very,
So
very.
her hair,
the
what,
whole-
did she like tease it? Did she curl it? What did she do to it?
I don't know. I'm not a hairdresser.
Well, no, Mike. I guess
You're not?
when you have an attractive,
Carla,
when you have
Oscar
an
asked
attractive,
if she looked good.
when
She
you
looked
have an
good.
attractive wife, there are times, even with Shannon, that she'll come over like, oh, you can't wear that. You can't, like, because some attractive women sometimes they don't know that they may be too attractive for the event.
We had a fashion show before we left.
Yes.
I said, no. Don't want the twins to come out and play that much. Don't want to show up the bride.
No, that's right.
Don't want to show up the bride.
Can't
Yeah,
wear
so that's
white.
what I did.
Can't let the twins out.
Mm-hmm.
That's just common.
No, I got
courtesy.
I got wonderful compliments about Carla from
Your
multiple
daughter
people
and
who
your
said,
son are
Your daughter
beautiful."
your daughter and son are beautiful. And you know, when someone walks up to, I can tell she's your daughter.
When Mike, when you told her that you didn't want the twins to come out, did she give you the same advice?
That was after I spilled the wine. Hold on a second. I got to check on
I
myself.
thought we said we weren't looking at the
Michael?
twins today.
Come here
Now
for
I
a
can
minute.
see them through your shirt.
Twins are red and
Come
blue.
here. I need to
It's not a
talk to
thick
you right
cotton,
now,
is it,
please.
Mike?
looks like a presidential debate.
I can't hear
Blue
you, buddy. So
and
you
red.
can tell
I can
me
tell
off
you're-
camera what.
Tell you're not wearing a bra with that shirt, Mike.
He should have.
What's going on? Come here. Come here.
Let's
Why
pat.
are you still in your underwear? Huh?
You said it was
Oh,
okay.
he's
Paul.
relaxing.
Yeah.
Can you just right over my right shoulder do the floss real quick?
Man, let him
He's
get
gonna-
dressed.
Okay, go
get
get
some
some pants on. You have 1 minute before I have to go to break.
Come on, Dad. I have to put some pants on.
No, the man has a little more.
No, he's got his
decorum
shirt
than
and
you.
his underwear. I don't know what Spider-Man underwear.
I
He's
like
got,
that he knows he needs to put pants on in public.
Yeah, I think that's good.
It's very
It
nice.
took
I
us-
would have been fine with him doing that in his underwear. I would have been fine with
It
that.
took us 4
It's
years
okay.
to teach that to Pony.
When he come to work without that.
Yeah, put those pants on.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Now, okay, here he goes. All right, ready? Ready? A little stand back. Wait, no, stand back right here. There you go. All right, now get back a little further. Hold on. I'll back up the camera a little bit for you.
It's a good video.
Hold
Dad.
on. Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Well done.
I love
done.
it, man. I
Oh,
love it.
that's wonderful.
Well done. Love it. He's not even stopping. He's just going. I love it. This is great. This is great.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Love you. Go do whatever you want. Nice T-shirt too for our terrible team that you don't want to root for anymore, which I
that's
completely
terrible.
understand.
Saw that.
That's it.
They're not the worst team in the world.
They're not the worst team in the world. That's right.
The
That's
Detroit Lions are.
The Detroit Lions are. Thank
There are
you,
things
Michael.
that you
Facts.
always keep for
Those are
truth.
facts.
That's right. Got back to the hotel. Excuse me. 5th floor, room 503. Thinking, I always check with the elevator, you know. Now, remember, the reason I got this motel was because I didn't want to be where the wedding was in case it got rowdy. So 148 at the motel. I think we turned in at like 9:30, quarter of 10. We were all exhausted.
Wow.
It was sleepy. It was 4:00 wedding. We stayed long enough to have a great time. 148.
This from the hallway?
AM.
Oh, I swear to God, I jumped out of bed. And 10 minutes later, you know, and at this point, I walk over.
Do you use the peephole first? What do you do?
I use the peephole, see nothing, so I assume it's down a little further. Open the door a crack and made the determination that I did not want to have a fight with Sherry Shepherd at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
No fight.
I didn't want to do that at all. So that's it. It was a great time.
I'm a
in my
peephole
hair.
guy. I like using the peephole.
Well, the peephole is
You
the
do.
worst.
It's well, the people, you know, you don't have a lot of peripherals, so
Mike,
you don't know what's going on.
Every
But
new hotel room should have a Ring doorbell installed.
Well,
So
That's a
they
great
should.
idea.
They
Some
should.
context
Yeah.
of what's happening in the halls.
But that was it. That was the end of the game. And then the drive back home with one of the worst fights I've ever had. A fight that made my son cry.
Oh no!
Oh.
Fight with my wife that made my son cry. My wife,
no.
she woke up. I was not next to a woman. I was next to a polecat.
Oh,
A polecat.
dear.
Yes,
My
sir. You got
God.
to take a
Good
break.
tease,
Polecat.
though. Good tease.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll do that when we come back. Yeah, you know what? I'll push the news back one.
Okay, cool.
Because the news is just depression central.
Push it.
Yeah, because so many people are dying that are my age. We'll take a break, and we will come back with more fun and more thrills. You're listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. Whoa, whoa, everybody.
Happy birthday. It's cold outside, Karen, so I wanted to remind you to visit the TMOS shopping center, Target, and Walmart. They'll never be frosty when they greet you, and they have everything you need this winter. Corn cob pipes, red and yellow scarves, enchanted top hats. They even have space heaters. But don't buy that, Karen, or I'll have to kill you. I'm serious. Just access Target and Walmart through the Mike O'Mara Show website, and you'll be back again someday if Frosty doesn't murder you. Ha 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 ha.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. What's your New Year's resolution? How about this? If you're like most folks, there's a box of your family's treasured home movies and photos tucked in a closet that you've been meaning to preserve but weren't sure where to start. But Legacy Box makes it easy. Simply send in your Legacy Box filled with old home movies and photos, then get back digital copies that can be easily enjoyed, shared, and organized. I remember when I used Legacy Box for the first time, I had an amazing video that was really starting to get a little threadbare.
Sure.
And on that video was an 8-track movie. I think it was 8-track. No, I'm not 8-track. Super 8 movie.
Right.
Of my mom and dad's honeymoon, which was, that's from the 1800s. It was really a long time ago. It was special, and
Awesome.
Legacy
So
Box
easy, yeah.
digitized it. It's like magic. Legacy Box is the industry leader and has helped over 1 million customers safeguard and preserve their past. Legacy Box's team of 200 trained technicians process 19 different media types, everything from VHS to Super 8 film by hand right here in the good old USA. Each kit includes everything you need to safely pack and send your recorded moments, including safety stickers for every item. Each purchase includes access to a personal concierge available 7 days a week to answer any Legacy Box questions. Bring your past to the present and the future. Kick off the new year by rescuing your family's most cherished memories. Go to legacybox.com/TMOS to take advantage of an exclusive discount for TMOS listeners. That's legacybox.com/TMOS. All right, everybody, I believe, is sensitive to a degree about their driving. Everybody is.
Sure.
All right. And I am no exception to that. Now, we get up. It was a very unsettled night in the motel.
Yeah, if you don't get a
and
good night's sleep,
lady
cranky.
screaming.
you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's our society. I find now that it's almost a 50-50 proposition. If you're in a motel that some hole is going to be staying up at at midnight to 3 o'clock in the morning and screaming in the hallway, which is just so, even in my absolute stupefied state of being in hotels, I've always been aware that there are, when you're going to your room, there's probably somebody else that's sleeping. That goes for late night or early morning as
Mike,
well.
it's what you've always said. You've always said this. Others.
Well,
Others.
That's think about others.
Also,
Others.
even worse.
Just a little bit.
I guess one of my most recent experiences, and it's tough to gauge when you're staying at hotels, like what, because it could be the nicest hotel and you can still have this
absolutely,
happen, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember, and I don't know what, prior to the pandemic, it might have actually been in Hawaii when the people next door on our side of the wall, and not my brother and my sister-in-law, they were having some sort of honeymoon. And when you haven't paid your taxes in some time, and then someone else is overpaying their taxes.
Next door.
Yeah, next door. And you're
Paper thin walls.
And you're like,
Yeah, they're paying next year's taxes in advance.
well, but it's not even the for me, it's not that you're uncomfortable because they're, everyone's got to pay their taxes, especially when you get married. But if you haven't, and you got a letter from the IRS, which is your wife, a while ago, you start looking at her.
She hears next door someone in the throes of ecstasy.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, you said the check was in the mail."
I still go back a million
right?
years to my brother-in-law. This is back a long time ago, where we were sharing a double, and we were awakened at 7 a.m. and I was in the bed to the left, and my brother-in-law Paul was in the bed to the right, and I was on my left side, he was on his right side. It's one of the funniest moments I will ever remember, where we are awakened by like that, and I open my eyes, and we are looking at each other. If you'd had a video of that, you would have seen two guys just like, I go like this, and he's smiling. It was, I'll never forget the name of the motel, the Deauville, which was in Atlantic City.
I was thinking it might have been Vegas, but yeah, I guess it was Atlantic
City. The motel
City.
For people who can't afford to stay on the Strip in one of the nice hotels.
Let's see if it's still with us.
Somebody was rolling that dough.
It very well might be. But Oscar, you're right. It's not pleasant to hear.
No, you don't like that.
Always be aware of that. And the other one would be in a no-tell motel, cheapo is thud, thud, thud. By the way, this wasn't cheap. This is what we have now for motels, right? We stayed at the one you guys stayed at, that Hyatt Place motel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where they give you breakfast in the morning. Yeah. Oh my God. And just the screaming and the screaming and the screaming. So
Mike, the Deauville has been absorbed by Sheraton.
Good. Hope they spruced it up a bit.
Oh, the picture's lovely. It's a very small picture, but it's lovely.
So it's late. Just a tremendous. I don't sleep well in hotels anyway.
Sure.
A very unsettled night. We awake. Carla's big on when they say, "And we have free breakfast," and Carla always goes, still gets excited. I don't. I've been in more hotels
square
than she
eggs.
has. I know what. I wish they'd been square. Wait till I get to this.
Oh,
so. We go down in the morning. This is after me getting maybe 4.5 to 5.5 hours of broken sleep after that. And I have my machine, my breathing machine there.
Nice.
And I use a different kind of container for my breathing machine. So I plug it in, and I didn't get it hooked up until we came back from the wedding. And as I plug the thing in, I fire it up. So what a CPAP machine does is it blows compressed air into your mouth, or you'll die. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. And so I put this thing on in the middle of the motel, and it's a different container, and it goes. And Carla says, "Mike, what the hell is that?" I said, "Let me see if I can fix the rubber seal on the thing." And I take it out, click, clack, put it back in. It's like I lie down.
Better.
It's like my head, the back of my head hits the pillow. I go, huh. I'm doing a great impression of what that sounded like. It's exactly.
I hear it. It's like being there.
Forced air, not being able to do that. So that sucked. So I sleep without the machine, which means I wake up and, I have a dry throat and we're just miserable. Yeah. We go down to, sorry to throw them under the bus, Hyatt Place. The level of attention to this breakfast buffet, if you want to call it that, was, there are powdered eggs and then there are powdered eggs that look like they are finished and then put in the chafing dish, and then someone brings a garden hose over and just liberally sprays them with water. So there's about an inch of water at the bottom.
Egg water.
They're foul. And then you get the microwave sausages that don't look like sausages. They look like cat.
Yep,
that's what they look like. Okay, yep. It looks like the obvious piece of sausage looks like you'd be able to take it out of a litter box and put it somewhere, and that's mean. And then we decide to hit the road, and it's so bad that we don't touch our breakfast, and we leave it. And look, those places can be spectacular. It's the proprietor. It's the franchisee. It all depends on that. I should have known there was a problem when I checked in and I said, "And how are you doing today?" She goes, 5 hours to go.
I hate
Thank
that.
you. Great to be at your motel.
You didn't get a chance to see 60 Minutes yesterday by chance, did you?
I watched part. Oh, the big quit. Yeah, I did. I watched
Hospitality. It's hit
gone.
It's hit as far as business sectors. It's been the greatest hit within the Great Resignation.
Right.
And I was shocked you got the level of service you just mentioned.
I will tell you that the only way out, corporate America, okay, the Hiltons, the Hyatts, the Sheratons, the Marriotts of this world. Sorry, here's your bad news. You got to put it up. You do. You're gonna have to take some of your insane astronomical profits that you get with your $400 a night room. Excuse me, I know we're doing a lot of editing today, and you're gonna have to pay the people that clean it, that check people in, that get the breakfast bar ready in the morning. You have to do that. You're going to have to, right? Yeah. That's what I took away from that last night.
I was always disappointed, Mike, even pre-pandemic, when you'd go to what I thought was a Highline hotel as a younger man, the Marriott Courtyard, and there was no courtyard.
Yeah, no courtyard at all.
Courtyard by Marriott.
Like, I want to walk around somewhere with my feet in the grass, barefoot. There's
statuary,
nothing there.
Fountains.
By the way, it started with a company called Embassy Suites that really that was the template for all of the modern hotels that we have right now. So it sucked. We get into a car. We have a massive fight about driving. I'm driving. Carla's criticizing my driving.
How come you're driving?
I thought she was the driver.
Well, that's the problem. I think from now on, we will solve this problem. But we have a fight to the point where Michael's like, "Stop it, you two!" And I think all I remember, I won't bore you with the particulars. It just ended with Carla saying to me, "Oh, grow a set," and that just. That's just...
Wow.
It's like in Back to the Future, don't call you chicken.
Yeah.
I think it was like grow a set, and I said, yeah, why don't you just go ahead and, oh, I see you over there. I said, you came back
Mike, why don't you grow a set and tell us what you said?
Didn't you tell me to grow a set yesterday?
Did.
Huh?
Yeah.
She's an excellent driver.
Would you like to tell the boys what you were, and I don't want to rehash because we don't have much time, but would you like to tell the boys what, what pissed you off about my driving?
Hi, Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi. Happy Monday. Mike flipped a person off. So
why would you do that?
That made me upset, and then I started criticizing
because the Oldsmobile Buick that the 850-year-old people were in was going so slow in the 70-mile-per-hour lane.
But it's like constant bitching.
Yeah.
I just can't take
But you know what?
anymore.
Actually, I don't want to play devil's advocate here, but the very fact that he flipped them off means that he has a set.
Thank you, Rob.
Oh, I
Thank
agree.
You.
He does have a set.
Thank
He
you.
really does. I was just,
Rob Spiewak, my friend.
Or would you
there's a really stepping up for me today.
Is there
Thank
a
you.
mark for a set to say someone that can control their emotions and say, I don't need to deal with this. I can just keep moving on with my life.
I can sleep as late as I want. All right, that's
hey,
fine.
Before Carla goes, can she dance?
What? No. Michael did the floss.
Oh, yeah. We're raising a party animal.
Oh, he had such a good time. He really had a good time.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. All right. Okay.
Oh, by the way, I ate a whole fruit cake last night, Rob.
A whole fruit cake?
I did.
You ate the whole thing?
I ate the whole
whole
thing.
tray?
I ate the whole tray.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling it today.
Okay.
I'm like...
All right. I love
She's going to
you.
need some alone time later.
We have to take a break. We have
lot of
news
nuts.
to get to. Lots of that. So, pretty good little weekend.
Sounds like it.
Oh boy, that man. That was an expensive shirt too, and I got a super sale price on it.
Ugh.
God, and those are hard to come by. A man of my carriage. When you find one, you got to love it.
Take him back to the store and say, "Look what happened when I opened it."
Okay, we'll be right back, everybody. Hello there. I know it might seem counterintuitive and maybe even silly to take advice from a promo, but I'm something of a famous radio pitchman, so this is something you can believe in. My mother always said that you can trust a man with facial hair. And if you have any confidence at all in the wisdom of a mother, it's time to stare at my drawn-on mustache and heed my words. Do you need a little more laughter in your dark, secluded, lonely life? Sure you do. You need the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. For pennies a day, the Bonus Show will take you from zero to hero. And all the ladies will be digging your scene. Grab it at MikeO'MaraShow.com. You'll be glad you did, and we'll be glad for you. Buy the Bonus Show and make me smile. A big, flashy, fake, insincere smile. You earned it, Pachango. Thank you. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Now that it's a new year, you're going to see a lot of ways to lose weight. Guess what? Most of them won't work. That's why I like Noom. Noom uses psychology to empower you with the knowledge and skills you need to build smarter long-term habits and behaviors. Noom doesn't believe in restricting what you can or can't eat. Noom gives you the knowledge and wisdom you need to make informed choices that not only fit your lifestyle, but also help you reach your goals. You're the boss. You decide how Noom fits into your life, not the other way around. 5, 10, or 15 minutes a day. How much time you want to spend on the app is up to you. Noom is grounded in science. It's at the heart of everything they do. They have published more than 30 peer-reviewed scientific articles that inform users, practitioners, scientists, and the public about how their methods work and how effective they are. Oscar loves Noom. Carla's never looked better. Sign up for your trial and get psychology-based support and motivation to reach your goals at noom.com/TMOS. That's noom.com/TMOS to sign up for your free trial. You're going to love Noom like we all have.
From the four corners of the World Wide Web and into your digital device, it's what you need to know. This is the homepage.
Oh, this is the homepage, and I hate to say this, but we lost another wonderful, funny person over the weekend. Way too soon. Bob Saget found dead in a hotel room in Orlando, Florida yesterday. There is no word on the cause of death. Police say there were no signs of foul play or drug use. He was only 65 years old. He was in the middle of a stand-up tour, and he just performed the night before in Jacksonville. After the show, he posted a selfie and said, quote, "Love tonight's show. Appreciative audience. I had no idea I did a 2-hour set tonight. I'm happily addicted again to this." And check bobsaget.com for my dates in 2022. Happy guy.
Didn't see it coming.
And
so loved.
Great. The best part of Bob Saget's comedy was anybody that would watch like a Full House episode or America's Funniest Home Videos and see, the absolute vanilla, straight-laced Bob Saget would go to a stand-up show and see a top 3 comedian, like just edgy, and just did such a great job. Really funny guy.
To that
Brilliantly
point,
funny.
I'd like to play a 1-minute clip if I might. This is from 2018, and he's talking about, and he addresses that he's known as America's dad, but he's not really America's dad.
I'm the only television father left that you can trust. That's what I'm telling you. I don't wear a cardigan sweater and have a pill dispenser and go, hey. I'm not doing that. Want a pudding pop? Now, Bill Cosby, I don't know if you heard about it with all that's going on. I mean, with all the politics, that's like a relief. He was one of my idols. That guy was one of my icons. And when you watch an icon fall, I mean, I used to love his work. And it's just strange. And he now claims that he is legally blind so that he cannot identify women who are saying that he molested them sexually. But if you say that, isn't that like saying that if you weren't blind, that you could identify the women that are accusing you? If I was blind, I could definitely identify women that I had sexually molested. I'd be like, oh, that's not her, Your Honor. Oh, definitely not her. That's her. I know her. That's Kathy. You have to write like Sharpie pen numbers on there. But if Bill Cosby was reading Sharpie pen numbers, it would mean he could see them, which means he's not blind. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
The comedy was completely different than the character you knew on Full House.
Yep, Danny Tanner.
That's what
and
made it.
I had the pleasure, Mike, and I'm sorry to take too much time here, but in my radio career, I had the pleasure not just once, twice of like hanging out with him for an entire evening, like going out with Bob
Saget. I didn't know that, Oscar. I didn't know that.
Like multiple hours, maybe like you go to a comedy show and you're like, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Well, I was going to go to this bar." He goes, "Well, like, can I?" He said to me, "Can I tag along?" And I said, "Of course."
Yeah.
And
I had no idea.
6-7 hours at a clip talking about his 19-year-old girlfriend at the time, ended up probably marrying one of them. And just a nice, like super regular person that at that point, like 15 years ago, was still dealing with people thinking that he was, America's father.
And so sad. I mean, so well regarded when you see the people explode online.
I see a lot of parallels that when Norm Macdonald passed. He was regarded as a generous, helpful,
absolutely
giving comic.
In the comedy community, just everybody that worked with him. Dave Coulier, my heart is broken. I love you. Russell Crowe even got in it. A good hang, good chat, kind, funny, generous. R.I.P. Bob Saget, of course, was revered by John Stamos. I am broken. I am gutted, he said. This is Stamos. I am in complete and utter shock. I will never have another friend like him. I love you so much, Bobby. God, I hate it when people go too soon.
Mike,
I really do.
Even as far as, as soon as like Phoenix, when we were out there with Big O and Dukes, when you reconnected with him on the radio, because a lot of those LA comics go to Scottsdale or Tempe, and it's like you picked up. That's how you knew the greats were. That you picked up where you left off.
Yeah,
and even if they didn't remember you, which I think he did, he made it feel like he remembered you guys.
Really, really sad. I don't care how he died. I just feel sad that he died, and
too early,
and
too
it's
soon.
just when we lose a funny man, a really, really good comedian. It's frustrating. It's sad for everybody. This is on the heels of somebody who lived a good life, and it's not nearly as sad. Sidney Poitier died this past Thursday at his home in Beverly Hills. He was 94. Poitier was the first black man to win the Oscar for Best Actor for the 1963 movie Lilies of the Field. I remember that movie as a kid, as a little bitty. I remember being little, I think, going, amen, 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 amen. Also, guess who's coming to dinner? One of my favorite.
I know that's one of your favorites,
movies.
yeah.
Oh, God. He was given an honorary Oscar in 2002. His other films, Blackboard Jungle, A Raisin in the Sun, The Defiant Ones, In the Heat of the Night. What a movie that is. To Sir with Love, another great movie. And Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. He starred in that with Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn about a mixed marriage. And if you look back in the early 1960s, you might have looked at that and said, hey, we're making progress. Isn't that wonderful? And it would have been. It still moves me today, that speech from Spencer Tracy. I get truly emotional when people rise above their petty bigotries and hatred and really think about that. I look at that movie as still something we should all aspire to learn from people that are brave enough that love blasts through all that stuff. He was the first black actor to become the top box office draw in the 70s. He became a director with films like Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again, A Piece of the Action, all of which he starred in with, well, here's his name again, Bill Cosby. In 1990, he directed Cosby in the box office flop Ghost Dad. He also did Stir Crazy with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, and Hanky Panky with Wilder and Gilda Radner. So he liked doing comedy. He resumed acting in the late 1980s, and his last credited role was 2001, The Last Brickmaker in America. His longtime friend, 94-year-old Harry Belafonte, also way up there, said, quote, for over 80 years, Sidney and I laughed, cried, and made as much mischief as we could. He was truly my brother and partner in trying to make the world a little better. He certainly made mine a whole lot better. Martin Luther King III said, quote, Sidney Poitier's impact on Hollywood can't be understated. His deliberate choice to not take roles based on racial stereotypes allowed many black Americans to see themselves truly reflected on the big screen. Today we celebrate the legacy of a legend, and that is we don't get many legends like that.
No.
But boy, it's this time of year, they drop like flies.
They do.
It's crazy. None of this is proven yet, but get ready for a big I told you so from that astrology friend of yours. A new study in Brazil claims the gravitational pull of the sun and moon does affect our behavior here on Earth. The pull pull we get from them is only about a millionth of what we get from the Earth, but they found plants and animals' internal clocks still work even when other factors are removed, like if it never gets dark and the temperature doesn't change. So the rhythm of the moon's gravity might help keep those things in sync too. So does this prove astrology right? Well, no. We already knew the moon's gravity affects us. If it didn't, the ocean wouldn't have tides, but there's still no proof that it messes with decision-making or causes big mood swings. There's also no evidence that the layout of the stars affects us in any way. They're too far away for their gravity to do anything, but there's something going on there.
When
So
I'm
that's
deprived of
interesting, I
light
thought.
and clocks, I do like G. Gordon Liddy did. I watch the ants.
Watch the ants and see how they behave. Oh, this is a wonderful story. It's been a heavy newscast today, but I have to tell you, this is spectacular. Lego can afford to play it fast and loose with details due to their blockish nature, so you wouldn't expect Lego animals to be anatomically correct, but it's changing as their sets become increasingly intricate.
Oh.
And I have a Lego set that is increasingly intricate.
Squire, are you an AFOL?
They recently introduced a majestic tiger, which has impressive detail, including Lego's first anus.
Richard Parker.
Richard Parker. Yes, the tiger has a small circular pink piece.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
This is, we've gone too far, right?
I'm sorry.
Please take that sentence once more.
Yes, the tiger has a small circular pink piece that fits underneath its tail. The specific part is also used for flowers, among other things. Kind of cool, kind of unnecessary, and kind of hilarious at the same time, considering there are kids out there following the directions, looking through their Legos to find that little pink rosebud and snapping it under the tiger's tail. Way to go, Legos. Yay. That's fantastic.
Didn't they
and
put
now
that
a little
piece
something,
with the Darth
something.
Vader, too?
Yes. Where's my pink rosebud? Last week, a 41-year-old woman, a little something now, in Houston, Texas, named Sarah Beam, was worried that her 13-year-old son had contracted COVID, so she stuffed him in the trunk of her car and drove him to a testing site. When she got there, she admitted that the kid was in the trunk. She told health officials she didn't want to catch it, but they naturally were concerned and told her that they couldn't do anything until he was placed in the back seat. Security footage shows her letting him out and putting him in the back seat. It's unclear. It doesn't say how old he is. Unclear. Oh, 13 years old. It's unclear if he was cool with being in the trunk. Sarah was charged with felony child endangerment, and a warrant is out for her arrest. The son had apparently tested positive at home, and Sarah was taking him to the site for additional testing. And get this, the testing site was run by a school district, and Sarah was a teacher at the district.
Ooh, that's terrific.
She's on administrative leave now. No word on what she teaches, but I'm guessing it's not abnormal psychology. Am I right, everybody? Yeah, Sarah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I like the way my backdrop changes color when I do that. Look at that. Woo!
Hey, will you dance?
We have to take a break and come back with something right here. You're listening to the Mike O'Mara Show. I'm Mike. That's Oscar. That's Rob.
Hello.
Hail, hail. It's Monday. Happy birthday. Bye, everybody.
As far back as I could remember, I always wanted to be Mike O'Mara. To me, being Mike O'Mara was better than being President of the United States. He's not just a clown to amuse you. He's the capo de capi. He does accents, impressions, and he can even talk up records. His two trusted associates, Robb and Oscar, they're untouchable, and they're pretty good earners, too. Tune in to the live Mike O'Mara Show broadcast every weekday on Facebook Live, or download it and listen on your own terms. Support these good fellas. Go to MikeO'MaraShow.com and buy the bonus show, or I'm going to have to send Polly Christine after you. Arrivederci.
Arrivederci. Thanks, Henry. You may fold under questioning.
I'm so happy Harry's is back with us on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Oh, my God, yes.
It is that time of year again. Time for fresh starts and resolutions, and Harry's can help Harry's is an award-winning razor brand that makes a full range of grooming essentials. I love all of them. And they were founded on the belief that you shouldn't have to choose between an incredible shave and a fair price. That's what I love about them. That's why I loved about them from the very beginning. They took on Big Razor.
I hate Big Razor.
And not only do they give you a great price, but they're so good. Their razors are so fantastic. If you want to start with the new year and do some fresh saving, new customers can redeem a Harry's trial set for just $3. You heard me, $3 when you go to harrys.com/TMOS. Harry's delivers a close, comfortable shave at a fair price, still as low as $2 per blade, and they stay sharp forever. I kid you not. Harry's is giving their best offer to our listeners. New Harry's customers can redeem a starter set. You get a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel with aloe, and a travel cover to protect your blades when you're on the go. That is a $13 value for just $3. There's truly never been a better time to try Harry's. Go to harrys.com/TMOS to try Harry's today. And we thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Rob, I know you had a truly great weekend.
One of the best, Mike.
Really?
And, yeah, it was terrific.
His house is falling apart, Oscar, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's what happens when you have a house that's about 15 years old and the people that had it built used all contractor-grade things. So
I thought you guys were like painting and doing stuff. And
yeah, painting, we've painted. That doesn't really help the substructure.
Well, I just feel like there's nothing like remodeling that will show you a certain aspect of your house. Be like, okay, things are working.
Well, and especially with row houses, townhouses, I live in a production home, and most people live in production homes, and where they go in, and the object is speed. It's not quality. You know what I mean?
A listener posted on my page, just quick sidebar. Apparently in Baltimore, the smallest or the thinnest row house in Baltimore has been discovered. It's roughly 9 feet wide.
It's called a row house.
And I took my laser digital tape measure and put it against the wall, and I said, let me see what we're doing here.
Oh, no.
The widest my house is 10 feet. The thinnest is 9.6 feet. And I said,
I have to see this home someday.
I said,
Mike, if you go, make sure I'm not there because we have to visit in shifts.
Interesting. Maybe I could contend in DC.
Yeah, you get the you get the trophy. So it was the unhappiest day of the year. We waited till the 9th this year to unchristmas the house.
Yeah,
and we got up, and that involves taking down the stuff and putting it in bins and decorating the tree and disassembling the tree. And Carrie actually started the day with a certain amount of motivation, so we got off to a good start. And I have a lot of weaknesses in my character. I have a lot of flaws, but I can still make the Christmas tree fit back in its box every year.
Good man.
And I'm proud of that. Very proud. So we get all of the stuff done, get the bins upstairs, and the bins are stored on shelves at the top of the laundry room, okay? So everything is put away, and we are ostensibly unchristmased.
Yes.
And I hate it, but it's done, and that's good. And also, the other request Carrie had is that I had frozen our turkey carcass from Thanksgiving, and she wanted turkey soup for dinner. And you know what? It's a hassle to make
do you freeze that carcass specifically to make soup at some point?
Yeah.
So what's the process when do you have to take it out in thought, or you thaw it in the microwave? What do you do?
I've got a huge turkey soup pot. It's really what I call my turkey soup pot. It's probably a 3-gallon pot. Put the carcass in there with a
frozen.
Yeah, with a coarse chopped onion, some celery, some sage. Bring up water, and you make stock. You do that on Saturday, and you boil the hell out of it, and then you strain it. You have your stock, and then you pull all the meat and all the good stuff out, and then you add fresh carrots, onions, celery, and you make fresh soup. It's really good.
Right now, I want some right now.
It's a hassle, but because I had to do it, I needed fresh carrots. So when we finished all the dechristmasing, I said, I'm going to Giant, and Carrie said, great, I'll make you a list. I said, please make it small because I don't want to make a career out of going to the grocery store today. So she texts me about 10 items, and I'm on my way. And as I'm leaving, I got my hand on the handle of the door. I hear
a crashing sound. Is that crashing?
It's a crashing sound from
you
two
heard
levels
what
up.
Cartoon animals running through your attic? Or
No,
what did you hear?
I heard a big crash sound, and I'm almost to my car, so I do what anyone would do. I yell out, "Are you okay?" I'm fine. It's okay, so I'm in the car. I get a text.
So you leave.
I leave.
Because you say, is everything fine up there? You know, all right.
It is 1.2 miles to Giant. I clocked it.
Giant.
And before I get there, I get a text that says, "We're going to need a new place for Christmas bins."
Oh.
And I said, "God damn it." 3 words in the text. And I said, I knew when I heard that crash, I knew what it was. It had to be, because the only thing we had changed that day was putting the bins up. So what had happened?
All right, let me ask you about the storage for the bins. So do you have the kind that are they wire shelves? Are they like wire shelves with braces that are like poorly put into the drywall stuff like that?
They had held up until now. And keep in mind, the Christmas stuff, there's maybe one bin that I would classify as heavy. The rest is ornaments, lights, stuff like that's light,
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
I can see that.
So did it tear from the wall?
Well, I don't know yet, because I just said, no, I'm at this point in the story. So I said, I'll be back. Okay, God damn it. And I go in, and this is the other great part, is that it turns out that, remember that big, massive backup on 95 last week? That has, the supply chain from that delivery day has hit the produce section of our store. And apparently, as I look online, every store, because I looked in, there was no celery. There was 1 bag of carrots, and there were 5 single bananas. 5.
If you want to know what really does get Rob angry, we give him a lot of crap. He doesn't get angry. This would be angry Rob
5
in the grocery store.
Organic bananas that all looked like turds. They were the worst.
What did you need bananas for? I just hate turkey soup with bananas.
No, I just like to have bananas in the house. I like bananas. Bananas and oranges are my go-to fruits during the winter.
I didn't know that.
And so anyway, I get what I got, and I come home, and I said to Carrie, I said, none bananas, none celery. These carrots look like crap. And
probably hard to make a good turkey soup without celery, right?
So I had some celery that was...
Was it your backup celery?
It was passable, is what it was. It was celery hearts.
Almost off.
Yeah, but you see, but I couldn't use it on like crudité, but I could chop it for soup, because it's just going to be boiled anyway. So
crudité.
What is crudité?
Like a platter of like vegetables and meats and cheeses. You know, like
charcuterie?
Yeah.
Crudité.
So anyway,
yes,
it's when you have Nell over for appetizers. Winning a day, chick-a-pay.
Crudité.
So I said, Carrie had also sent me a text. She says, because Robert went back to school this weekend, and she said, you know what? We can keep the bins in Robert's room since he's not using it until we figure out what to do. I said, you know what? That's good thinking. That's good thinking. And I said, did you put them in the room? She says, well, no. I said, so they're still just on the floor?
Where they've collapsed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't touch it?
No. So I go up and I look in the laundry room, and what I've got is there is a wire shelf
lazy, super duper lazy, lazy.
Like it's like a ladder for a mouse leaning against the washer. There's arms that are bent and broken. There's holes in the walls where they've come out of with the wall anchors. And I don't like them to begin with, is our match set of Christmas plates that have all the reindeer on them. I think they're a pain in the ass, actually.
You mean like Donner Blitzen, each individual plate?
Well, we have 2 sets, so we have 16 of them. And what had happened is the bin had fallen, split open, and just a cascading river of broken dish pieces.
Oh,
that's way too heavy for those
heavy.
shelves.
Heavy.
Well, that's what did it. That's what did it.
You should have mentioned this before Saturday. Because, but you know,
that's the problem.
So we're going to have to reconfigure. I think I can repair the shelf with better wall anchors, and also I have to get a couple new cross arms. I'll have to go to
I sent
Lowe's.
some experts from down here. Down here, they got all the shelf people, the people that know how to like really reinforce all that. And it's all people do is store stuff.
He knows how to anchor something. Have you always put the plates up there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's always where we put the Christmas stuff. So I mean,
yeah, and you'll be able to figure it out where it's distribution.
And
Probably
also,
not the plates.
No, and
that
also
might be
we've
a
got
little tricky.
other storage in another closet that is more solid. It's just a matter of figuring out a better system. But you know what, Mike?
Did you end up making the turkey soup after you got done working on the collapsed shelves?
The soup was fantastic, but Carrie really screwed up the dumplings because we didn't go with egg noodles. We went with dumplings. And so as I'm finishing some stuff up, she says, I'm making the dumplings. I said, fantastic. And I come up and she says, they seem a little gooey. I said, what measurements did she use? I didn't look for a recipe. I said, oh.
Isn't it just like water and
just throw 'em
flour?
in.
No, it's 2/3 of a cup of milk to 2 cups of Bisquick. And then she put them in before the soup was boiling, so the whole thing was off. But you know what? It came together fine.
Hey, you're still together. That's the important thing.
And you know what?
And you're still alive.
And afterwards, I said, Carrie, I have to look up the dumpling recipe too. So next time, we'll just make sure we look it up.
You use we
Does she
as a lot
Does
of
she
you.
get pissed at that passive aggressive, like when you do that to her, when you're mad at her, but you're not saying you're mad at her?
No, because she was already, I think, mad at herself when I pointed out that she made 2 pretty grievous errors.
Do you still eat them?
Yeah, it was delicious.
Shut up, Frankie!
But you know what? I'm more.
Shut up!
Julia
I'll make you a dumpling.
Julia requested. I'm more of an egg noodle guy in the soup.
Got it.
But I made about 50
me too.
gallons of. I made about
I don't
50
like
gallons of the
dumplings.
soup.
Dumplings suck.
No, Mike.
I
they
hate
don't-
dumplings.
Hey,
They're just like
hey,
matted
no,
dough.
They don't suck
They're
at all.
so gross.
Then you're not putting enough pepper and
rather-
sage in them.
I don't make
A
dumplings.
pierogi better than a dumpling.
Or do you know what the Polish people say?
Carla likes pierogies. I
Petahat.
hate pierogies too. Cause we
Oh, I like 'em.
Well, that's when Carla does her old Eastern European thing: sauerkraut, onions, sauerkraut.
You have to wear your
You know?
lederhosen.
Yeah, it's like that's all that's gross. But
anyway-
good luck with everything.
Yeah, well, Mike, everything is looking much better now.
That's good, and everything's fine on the home front. Everything's okay.
You know what? Just fine. Absolutely.
How would you rate your weekend on a scale of 1 to 10?
the whole weekend?
Yes, the whole weekend.
4.
Okay. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that. That's good. And
Hey, it ain't a 3.
that'll work. How are you doing, Oscar? You all
I'm
right
good.
over there?
Rob had a worse weekend because I had him take a rapid COVID test as well in the middle of the day. So I'm not being too hard on him. I just can't.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did
You
I-
need a rapid COVID. Oh, we haven't even got. Can we talk about that tomorrow?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
Of course.
Well, there's a surprise. We'll be right back, everybody.
Hello, friends. It's me, Jake the Snake, America's most beloved ball python. The
I love
greatest
you.
snake in history. Just a
I love
reminder,
you.
dear boy, don't forget to purchase the TMOS bonus show.
Snake will be making an appearance this week.
commercial-free extra TMOS episode every week.
Zoom?
Costs only pennies and supports Mike and Rob and Oscar.
Rob.
It's the best. Buy it now at MikeO'MaraShow.com. And for those of you who say I sound like the Leesburg Vulture, listen. This is the voice Mike uses for all his creepy animals. So piss off. And thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
It's a snake.
Even in the best schools, your child probably isn't getting the one-to-one teaching that they need to reach their full potential. In a classroom with dozens of kids, teachers just don't have the time to customize their approach. At Baiju's Future School, students receive personalized attention and world-class learning experiences completely online to supplement their in-person school education. Baiju's math and music courses help build a foundation of knowledge and self-confidence. And with Baiju's coding course, students get the fundamentals of coding through their favorite games like Roblox and Minecraft. They'll have tons of fun while learning about the technology that makes games, apps, and cryptocurrencies possible. Oscar enrolled his nephew, and he's loving it.
Yep.
You can join the millions of parents accelerating their kids' learning today. Your child can build their own Minecraft character in the first 4 weeks. Visit Byju's.com/podcast to enroll in your first 4 classes. That's a $99 value for just $9.99. That's 4 classes for just $9.99 at byjus.com/podcast and do it. Do it.
Did you hear that? Listen, what's that sound?
The big sound in the
Soundtown.
big town.
Soundtown.
new sound.
Sound. Start it. Soundtown. Start. Too long. Too long in intro. Too long.
Soundtown.
Too long. Cut it in half.
Oscar, you like winners.
I love winners.
Winners like Will Smith.
Yeah, he's come around.
Will Smith takes advantage of the fact that he's got a position where he can get things done. And he was working out with the Miami Dolphins. And he put this video up on Instagram. And it's got that Instagram, sometimes Instagram has like a digital voice introduction.
Yes.
Yes.
Just briefly, I got to see, I was able to see King George, who if you haven't seen.
About the Williams sisters, right?
It is, Mike. You want people that want to hate on on Will Smith, and I used to be one of them. After watching his performance here, I'm like, I don't want to.
Well, Will Smith's got chops. I mean,
Yeah.
my
Oh, he
God,
does.
I mean, he's been doing it a long time. He knows what. I watched the other one that's getting critical reviews, Belfast, which was pretty powerful. Since we knew when I was a kid so little about it, but a lot of good stuff floating around out there. Good movies. I want to see King George, which is of course about Serena and Venus Williams and their father and how he turned them into the icons that they are today. I'd love to. That's next time. I might watch that tonight.
So Instagram, Will Smith working out with the Dolphins, but he passes gas. He embarrasses himself here.
Training with the Miami Dolphins was going great until that morning coffee snuck up on me.
Oh, sorry about this. Sorry about this. Excuse me. Get down this side. You guys have showers in here?
Let's just take it one more time to the moment.
Training with the Miami Dolphins was going great until that morning coffee snuck up on me.
Oh, sorry about this.
There you go. Will Smith.
Wow. That's loud.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Fresh Prince.
That's a loud one. That you know what? He is the French Prince, and I'm not suspicious that it was a fake fart. It was a real fart, but I think he pushed. That sounded like he pushed.
Well, he's getting those views.
That's not a sneak out one. That's one I got to let it out. I'm going to go ahead and let it out.
He's getting his views.
Well, you don't want him to get sick.
Mike,
I didn't see the exercises he was doing.
He was arm wrestling.
Splat.
There's a guy named Peter McIndoe, and he had a fake movement to try and get attention where he said that birds aren't real. He said they were government drones. All birds were government drones.
The flat bird theory?
Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
he was booked on WGN to talk about the way millennials do scams, and they would think not to trust this guy because this guy's whole life has been scams. So what he does is he gets on WGN, claims to be too nervous, and pretends to vomit.
But it's more than just Gen Z's falling for conspiracy theories. Why?
Oh my God, I'm so nervous. I'm so sorry.
Well, we hope you're okay. Why don't we give you some time to collect yourself? If you need help, let us know in the control room there. And is there any weather today?
It's such a dope anchor. So, well, what's he going to say? I think he's faking it.
Why did you fake throwing
Frankie,
up?
shut up!
And Mike.
Jesus.
Let's close with this because I know that
All right.
we're talking about conspiracy theorists there, but sometimes they give very valid advice and very smart things. And Pony gave me this tape. This is Alex Jones, and I want you to remember this through the weekend.
Yes, if a man takes enough hormones, they might produce a couple of drops of milk a day. You're not going to feed a baby.
No, sir. You're not going to feed a baby, Mike.
Wow. That's Alex Jones.
One more time.
Yes, if a man takes enough hormones, they might produce a couple of drops of milk a day. You're not going to feed a baby.
You're not going to feed a baby.
Produce
You wanna hear-
with my sort of Texas accent.
Can we hear him say milk one more time?
Yeah, milk.
Yes, if a man takes enough hormones, they might produce a couple of drops of milk a day.
Milk.
You're not going to feed a baby.
Mike, that's all I got.
Funny.
That's fantastic.
Now leaving SoundCloud.
That's it. We got to get out of here. Thank you. Please come get. That's Alex Jones, everybody. We will be back with. What was the last thing that I heard that somebody was
A
going to
rapid
talk
COVID
about?
test?
Yes.
Oh, I want to hear all about the COVID since that's. Have you heard of Deltacron?
Yes. No more Delta.
Life's great. Anyway, we'll be taking a little brief respite, and then we'll come back tomorrow with a brand new episode of The Mike O'Mara Show. For Robb Spiewak and Oscar Santana, Mike O'Mara is saying so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Want more? Make sure you check out The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show. Get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hey, save some for Dad now.
I'm a phony, just like you.
You're playing golf and you're going to like it. What about my asthma? I'll give you asthma.
Sayonara, sucker.
Wow.